Welcome to Earth 2, where supers exist and movie talk is the norm. I'm your boy MoeCrosby. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Baby Driver. So you know what? Sit back, relax, and as always,
Welcome to the planet.
a couple days ago I was blessed to go see the screening for the movie Baby Driver. And one of the things that really sold me on the movie was Edgar Wright writing and directing. Now, another thing that I kind of was a little drawn back about it was, okay, what is this going to be like? Fast and the Furious, but is it going to be a lot of fantastical events, or just is it going to be grounded in reality? And you know what? I'll get into that when I get into the review. But first things first, is I got to talk about the cast: Ansel Gort, Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx, Lily James, John Hamm, John Barenthal, Isa Gonzalez. Like really great cast. Like when everyone was on screen at some point, like everyone had a chance to shine on screen together, even when they were doing their singular moments and together. Ansel Gort as Baby was, I think, one of the most the like one of the most surprising parts of the casting to me, because I've seen him once in The Fault in Our Stars and I never really was comfortable with him. But I saw him in this movie, and I saw this movie and I was like, okay, this is like really good. Like he's just shot himself up. He's put himself up there, out there. Anyway, so the main character again, Ansel Igor, is Baby, and he's the main character of the movie. He's partially deaf, but he's also a getaway driver, and he accounts for his deafness by playing music to drown out the constant buzzing in his ears, which is a very interesting concept. I had to do a little more research on it, and it's actually something that's legit. So Edgar Wright took a legitimate a legitimate affliction and made it into and put it in his movie and weaved it into his movie really well. And it works well because the music that he plays also works with the action and the editing in the movie. So that's another thing I'm gonna get into. But let's stick to the characters. Jamie Foxx's Jamie Foxx was just very good with his role. He's again, Jamie Foxx is just really good. Period. So when Jamie Foxx is in anything, he's just you can just expect the best of Jamie Foxx in every role he takes. John Hamm was perfect. Like, John Hamm is this cool guy. Even his character is supposed to be this cool, level-headed guy, up to the point that when he ends up losing his head, you still kind of feel him still being cool. Like he's still very cool at being a lost, someone who's lost his mind. Kevin Spacey again. Like, what can I say about Kevin Spacey? If you're watching House of Cards, there's nothing else to say about Kevin Spacey. He's very cold. He's very like his presence when he speaks. Like you want to listen to him because he commands. He commands the screen and he commands like everything. So Kevin Spacey's one of the characters that went. His character was just one of those that wasn't really involved in a lot of the heavy action, but when he was in the movie himself, he was like fantastic with his just his delivery. So Kevin Spacey's character was also really great. Um, the story is about Baby, who again is a getaway driver. I mean, if you look at the dude, he doesn't look like a criminal, but he's trying to pay off a debt that he accrued, with from Kevin Spacey's character by he stole his car, and Kevin Spacey caught up with him and told him whatever was in the car that you disposed of, wherever you disposed of it, is a lot of money, and so now you're gonna work for me till you pay it off. So he started at a young age working for Kevin Spacey, and he developed into this awesome driver. So that's a majority of the story is him trying to pay off. The first act is him trying to pay off Kevin Spacey. The second act of the story is when he meets this girl played by Lily James, and he falls in love with her, and it becomes like it goes from the heist movie and the getaway driving movie to a love story, which again is very interesting. But for me, was the only weak part of the movie because the love story wasn't really developed. There was a lot of things and a lot of her decisions that I didn't really think, like I thought to myself, wouldn't really play well in real life, because this movie did a lot of grounding in reality. So a lot of the elements wouldn't play well in like her love story and the decisions she was making, based on the fact that if this was real, again, movies are not supposed to be, but if this was reality, you couldn't get it. That wouldn't happen. So that kind of like I was lost a little bit in the love story. But moving past into the third act, where now Baby's making decisions that affects, he's trying to leave the game, because that's effectively what's going to happen in the movies. Baby's going to want to leave the game, and when he decides to leave the game, he starts making the decisions, and the action picks back up, and it blends the story back into the action and the love story. So all of that kind of flows in, and it's amazing because and I'm gonna take a little bit of time to talk about Edgar Wright, the music, and his direction of this. First things first is the music in this movie is just fantastic. Like, I think what everyone who's going to see this movie is gonna take out of it is the soundtrack was awesome, and the way the soundtrack melded into the editing and the pacing, and it just felt very like you just wanted. It felt like a music video or like a musical at some points, because it's like everything happening has its own beat. Everything happening has its own like elements. Like even the music was, an element to the movie itself. Even when you're driving or you hit the gas or you close the door, there's something happening. In every action piece or every action beat, there's the music revs up or slows down to go along with it. So this is something that I can't really talk about the music choices because I don't want to spoil it, because I want you guys to go see it and develop your own thoughts about it. So yes, everyone should go see it and develop their own thoughts about it. Now, Edgar Wright did his thing. Editing, cinematography, shot choices, story beats, everything Edgar Wright did in this was perfect. The story itself, was perfect. Cinematography, it's shot, like I said, everything Edgar Wright has done for me, I've loved. So if you love Edgar Wright and you love Edgar Wright movies, I suggest for everyone to go see Baby Driver. It's come to the part of the review where it's time for me to give you my score, or what I think about this movie. I am going to give Baby Driver 8.9 out of 10. 8.9 out of 10. I mean, I think personally that is the highest I've rated a movie this year. And again, for what Edgar Wright did with the characters and the story, and what Ansel Elgort did as Baby, and Jamie Foxx, I think everything really works together. It's going to be a really good summer movie, and I suggest everyone should go see it. If you like Jamie Foxx, if you like Edgar Wright, if you like John Hamm, if you like Kevin Spacey, go see the movie. Like, they stand out in this movie. They do. Everyone does really great in this movie, but those four, to me, stood out. And that's the end of my review. You can follow Earth2 on social media at Earth2 Comiccast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Check us out on Earth2 Comiccast. That's with the number 2. You can check out the podcast, which comes out every Thursday. We have news, movie talk, comic book talk. We even have special guests sometimes. I think for this week, we might have a special guest talk about Baby Driver with me on the show. So check us out again. That's on SoundCloud.com. And it's Earth2 Comiccast, again, with the number 2. Down in the comment section, let me know if you're going to see this movie. Let me know what you thought of my review. Let me know if you like Edgar Wright and you think this is going to be one of your surprise hits for the summer. It's your boy, MoeCrosby. You've been watching one of the reviews.